So, first thing, I would like to take you back about 10 years ago. So I was working in sales for an oil company, and I was building my coaching business on the side. So what was happening is I realized that, oh, and welcome to those who are joining us. I will continue to mute you as you are joining it so that your screen does not come in and out. Now, if you want, just before, if you are seeing the screen of the people that are arriving, what you can do is you can go into speaker view instead of being in gallery view. If you want to see all the screens of everybody, you can stay in gallery view. Otherwise, you can just stay in speaker view, okay? So otherwise, you would be seeing my screen. All right, so back to 10 years ago, I was building my coaching business on the side, and I really wanted to live from coaching, and I wanted to become a motivational speaker. I wanted to write books and all this, but I was keeping my full-time job because I was hearing that voice in my head telling me, what are you talking about? You have to keep your full-time job and steady income. You can't really live from your passion like this. You're never gonna make it. Like, what are you thinking about? You don't even speak English. You want to be a motivational speaker? What's wrong with you, right? So that's true that my English was so bad. I'm French, right? And I remember teaching a yoga class where, at the end in the relaxation, everybody's laying down and relaxing. And I was telling them to relax and relax their face, relax their jaw. I wanted them to relax the face. So I was telling them to put their tongue on the roof of their mouth, right? So I said, put your thumb behind your tits. Yeah, beautiful English. And then absolutely that voice that day in my head was really telling me, well, loser, yeah, and you want to write books in English? Like, what are you talking about? So I remember one day I was with a client selling her a huge order of oils, like pallets and pallets, and that would have ensured my commission for the rest of the year. So I'm creating rapport with my client, right? And then we're chatting about different things. And then she's telling me that she's got a bit of a financial problem right now because there's a situation with her daughter. Her daughter has a project and now they're not even talking right now. So first thing you know, I'm sitting down with my clients and I'm coaching her. And when I left her office, she had reconciled with her daughter and I had convinced her not to buy the oil so that she could use the money for her daughter's project. So I left the office with a big yes. And then I'm like, oh, what have I done? I've just lost a huge order. And then it clicked. I was a lot more interested in helping people than I was interested in selling oil. So I thought, I need to do this full time. I need to live from this. I need to make this my full-time job. But again, that voice came back in my head. Oh no, you're not going to make it on your own. You need your full-time job. You're not good enough to build a big successful business by yourself. Like, you need an employer that pays you. So that's the day that I realized I need to shut down that voice inside my head because it's not serving me. So I spent the last decade studying neuroscience and figuring out a way to reprogram my own thoughts. So I tapped into quantum physics, into neuroscience, into neurolinguistic programming, did some coaching courses, read thousands of books, and I came up with this system that works with my clients, with my, that's the system I shared in my 8 international #1 best-selling books. And this is the base that I'm using now to answer the questions. So I'm going to start with the very first question that I've received last week. So can you tell us what motivates you? So I will tell you what motivates me, but it doesn't really matter because it might not be what would motivate you. I will answer the question, but what I want to tell you is to understand your internal drivers. So emotionally, we are being driven by, we call those the meta programs. So we have over 66 meta programs that are making us feel like doing something. So I've studied about 14 of them. I'm not the queen of metaprogram like Shelley Rose Charvet. She is the worldwide queen. Now, in those 14, there are 3 of them that you probably will react to. So the first one is affiliation. Some people are really driven by affiliation. So meaning you have to be surrounded by others. If you're by yourself, you're just not going to do it. So you like to, if you know that other people will be there, you'll be very motivated to go. Or if a girlfriend tells you, hey, we're doing this, do you want to come? You'll be in. But just by yourself, you might not be motivated to do it. So you want to belong to association. So if you are building a business, you're an accountant, belong to an association of accounting. You have to belong to groups and sign up for things and do group fitness classes. You will respond a lot more to that than you would to be doing something on your own. Some people are driven by achievement. So what you need is a goal. So you need to have a to-do list and check boxes. So people that are motivated by achievement like to have specific targets to reach, and they really like to know that let's say that you want to exercise. Instead of just thinking, oh, I'm going to exercise every day, set up a goal that in 2 months you need to run a 5K or something. And with this goal, that will motivate you to do it. Or if you have, like in my business, I have actually multiple accountability partners that we meet on a regular basis. And I'm building a legacy follow-up series now for some of my new courses. If I just have this on my list, I don't know that if it's going to work, but I sign up with one of my girlfriend that's also in business, and in 2 weeks, I told her that my legacy follow-up series would be finished because I have to report to her. I have a goal and it needs to be done by that day. So people who are driven by achievement, that will really help them. And the last one is power, being in a situation of leadership. So if somebody counts on you, you will show up. This is me. That's what motivates me, is knowing that other people are counting on me. So what makes you get out of bed in the morning is that right now, especially, my clients are really needing me because I'm doing so much business mentorship right now. Everybody needs to put their business online. Everybody needs to reinvent themselves. And they have to let go of their emotional barriers. And that's what takes me out of bed. I've been teaching fitness for 33 years. And that's what keeps me exercising. Because if I don't have to show up for others because they're waiting for me to teach the class, I might not even exercise. Because I always put myself, when I go through something, if I don't feel good, I always ask myself, people that are following me, what would they expect me to do? And that's what drives me, is to know that somebody needs me out there and I'm in a leadership position and I need to walk the talk. So those are the three drivers. So what motivates you? You might already recognize yourself in one of these three. And if you want to learn more about how to know more about yourself and how to love yourself, go here in thinkyouself.com, the /stylist, and I will be sending you these links before. So in Think Yourself, a Relationship Pro, so that's one of my books, there's a stylist assessment tool, and it teaches you what is your style. So are you more of a leader? And it tells you if you are a leader, you can do the test for free right here, right? So you don't need to buy the book. You just go do the test there, and it will tell you if you're a leader, this is what will drive you. If you are an influencer, this is what drives you. If you are a supporter, this is what would motivate you. And if you are a thinker, this is what motivates you. So it's really cool. So this is all in Think Yourself, a Relationship Pro. It's in the book, or it's in the online course. So there's a full online course of that too, if you are interested. So the online courses are here, thinkyouself.com/online programs. So that I just would like to see if there was more than one person that had this question. So I just launched a poll. Can you see the poll right now on your screen? Can you see the poll? I just launched it. Yeah, so some people are answering. So I see. So did you all have that question? So some people had this question too. Okay, so I'm giving you another maybe 10 seconds to vote. More than half of you have voted now, 57, 63. So I'm going to give you another 3 seconds to vote. and then I will end the poll. So more likely so far, 77%, 3/4 of you all had that question too. Perfect. So a lot of you have voted already. So I will end the poll and I will just share the results so that you can see. So right now, 11 out of 14 that voted, 79% had that question too, and some of you didn't have that question. So hopefully the next questions that I answer, you will all get benefit from it. If you have more questions, remember to write them in the chat. So the next question I receive is, how do you control your emotions? So emotions are really interesting. When they arrive in our life, usually emotions are shocking us, right? So there are some powerful emotions that come into our life. Of course, there's love, appreciation, tenderness, and joy. These emotions are not as powerful as anger, fear, hurt, sadness, guilt, let's say. And they're all created equally in the prefrontal cortex. So all our emotions are created equally, and the brain doesn't know the difference between anxiety and excitement. So at the end of the day, if you decide that it is anxiety, your brain will send 1,400 chemicals through your body and pollute you. And if you decide that it's excitement, your brain will send a very different chemical. It could be serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphin, depending if you're with other people or what the situation is. But the chemical you will receive will be a lot more supportive, a lot more exciting. So as I mentioned, when you are overwhelmed, for example, or when you are sad, or when you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm really worried right now, will I ever go back to work? What's this COVID confinement, when is this going to end? And we're panicking. What happens right then is, I like to give the analogy of a truck that's arriving in your driveway. So your powerful emotion arrives in your driveway with a parcel to deliver to you. So this parcel is your gift. It's your positive learning. And the problem is, very often is we don't open the door because we don't have time. So sometimes we're at work, we're in the middle of something, there's this emotion, we're like, I don't have time for this right now, I have to keep going, I don't have time to deal with this because people are counting on me, I'm in the middle of a project or a presentation, or your kids are around, you're like, oh no, I'm fine, mommy is fine, yeah, everything is okay, because we don't have time for this. So we, like, show must go on, right? So we keep going as if nothing was happening, and then we're just pretending, oh yeah, everything is fine, yeah, everything is okay, but it's not really okay. And the truck stays in the driveway and we don't open the door. So what needs to happen is, every single time an emotion shows up, it should last 30 to 90 seconds, one loop. So an emotion should only last 30 to 90 seconds, and then you should be able to exit the loop. That means you should just be receiving the parcel and opening your gift. What is it that I'm learning right now? And then the truck will leave your driveway. But because the truck stays there, it's blocking your driveway and you feel stuck. And then another emotion comes in, and then you still don't have time, so you don't look for your learning. So another truck comes in and another truck comes in, and then soon your driveway is fully blocked with learnings, with drivers trying to deliver you a parcel, and they only have one reason to be. Their only purpose is to send you this parcel. So in order to control your emotion, first is to acknowledge that you're receiving a parcel. And instead of being, oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm panicking. I'm uncomfortable right now. You have to say, ooh, this is exciting. I'm receiving a parcel. There's a truck in my driveway right now. What am I going to learn? I'm going to learn something. This is cool. So first you want to feel differently and choose to be excited about a learning opportunity. And then you want to open that parcel. So what are you receiving? And as soon as you've acknowledged what you'll be learning, thinking in a year from now when I look back, what will I have learned from this? This is why it's bothering me, because I'm learning this. And as soon as you find your learning, then the truck will leave your driveway. And that's how you control your emotion, because emotion should only last 30 to 90 seconds. You've seen that in kids. They're super happy, and then 20 seconds later it's temper tantrum and they're panicking, and then they're happy again another 30 seconds later, because emotion should only last 30 to 90 seconds. So that's the second question. Now, the third question is, how do you motivate yourself when you or all of us are under quarantine? So the first thing that I suggest for that is you want to have a reason to get up. So if you woke up without a goal, then go back to sleep. I find that what helps me is to set up appointments really early in the morning. So then, because I like to get up at 5, and I always have my first meeting at 6 a.m. because I like to do that, because I know that if I don't have any meeting until 11, well, I might sleep in, like, well, I don't really need to get up because nobody's counting on me. Remember, I'm motivated. My internal driver is power and leadership. So if somebody's counting on me to be there at 6, I better be up. But if you wake up and you have no plan, you have no goal, like there's nothing important for you to do that day, maybe you're just going to go back to bed. So once you have your goal and you say, tomorrow I want to finish that day having done this, then you need to make a plan. Because a goal without a plan is just a wish. And a wish could be just in Wonderland, right? So it doesn't need to happen. So you want to make sure that you make a plan and you say, okay, how much of this goal, and let's say that I need to work on this project because I want to build my website. What will I have done by the end of the day tomorrow? And what time am I starting? And if you're driven by affiliation, make sure that you ask somebody to hold you accountable to be there at 6 a.m. to start on this, or at 7 or at 8. You don't have to all get up at 5 a.m. like I do. But whatever time that you feel like you want to do it, you want to make sure that you use your own driver to help you with your plan and decide exactly what you want to have done on each day. And if you are not working right now and you've decided to take some time off, what are you going to do during your time off? My husband's retired and every day he's got a plan. Today I'm going on a bike ride. Tomorrow I'm going to go for a long walk, or I'm going to be cleaning the garage, or whatever it is. Have something to do. The other thing that really motivates me is exercising and eating well. So I find that when I exercise first thing in the morning, that really helps me. Then the rest of my day is much better. So I find that during the confinement, the one thing that keeps me feeling good about myself is exercising, eating well, and the other thing that really helps me is getting dressed. It's funny enough, but we don't have to get dressed anymore because we're at home. Like I talked to a lot of my girlfriends. They're like, "What's a bra?" I haven't worn a bra for 3 weeks or 3 months, like 2 months, right? So I'm gonna launch the second poll right now, and then just see if you guys want to answer that poll. Are you wearing pants right now? Yes, no, or does pajama pants count? Because getting dressed in the morning is really a motivation, because if you're wearing your pajamas, it's not the same. Like if you had a shower in the morning and then you get ready, it puts you in the mood. Like I even wear shoes in my house. Like I'm wearing shoes right now because I feel like I'm at work. Like I've been working from home forever. So this is my strategy. It works well for me. So I'm ending the poll now and then I'll show you the results. So good for you, you guys. Everybody's wearing pants mostly. One person is not. So please don't stand up. And 2 people are, there's pajama pants count. So wear clothes, get dressed, get ready. And the other thing is your posture. So I find that it really affects me. I like this little cartoon. this is how I need to stand when I want to feel sorry for myself. So if you want to feel sorry for yourself, you curl up on the couch and then you stand like this. Because if you stand like this, you start to feel better. So when you stand tall and you're like, okay, I want to do this today, let's go. You're not going to curl up on the couch and say, well, I think I would like to do this today. More likely, it's not going to motivate you. So if I want to really get the full negative impact, that's how I have to stand. So I love this little cartoon. But what it shows us is the work of Amy Cuddy, right? She was working with a different test group, showing that when people, we all know that when we don't feel good, our body physiology responds by curling. But what she's proven was the reverse, is that when we stand up tall and when we change our physiology, that influences our mind. So whenever you have a project, whenever you want to do something that you're motivated from, stand up. Put your hands on your hip, or do the, the Hulk or the Wonder Woman or the whatever superhero, the Spider-Man. So whatever is your superhero pose, just get into these positions because it will affect your mind. So really get up and get go. Pardon me? The pole is still up? Oh, okay. Somebody's telling me that the pole is still up. So could you see the cartoon? Ah, okay. So I will go back and show you the cartoon. There you go. So that was the cartoon. So this is how I have to stand if I want the full negative impact. So if I want to feel sorry for myself, because if I stand like this, then I start feeling better. So that was the cartoon. So you were hearing my voice though? Still? Yeah? Show me a sign either with your thumb or with, yeah? Okay, perfect, awesome. Okay, so next question was about how do you distance yourself from people who don't have a good influence on you? So that's a very cool question, because sometimes I talk a lot about the fact that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you spend a lot of time with people who are draining you, sometimes you've all had a friend, I guess, in your life that you leave a coffee date with them and you're totally drained and you're like, oh my gosh, this person is so draining, they're so negative, and then you try to help them and you feel like it's not working. So you want to make sure that you surround yourself with people that are uplifting you, right? And if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So you really have to make sure that you surround yourself with uplifting people. So instead of going away from people who are not, go towards people who are uplifting you and fill your calendar with these people. And soon enough, you will realize that you just happen to not have time for people who are not uplifting you. Now, the question was longer than that, and I had a bigger description of the situation. And sometimes if the person is in your family, you cannot not be their sister or their father or their daughter or their you still, they're around you and you can't just cut them off. So the first step is always to just try to help them, right? So one thing that you can tell them is that you were on a webinar today, and then this lady that could hardly speak English told you that whenever you tell a story to somebody, their brain doesn't know that it's not happening to them. So when you tell a bad story that happened to you, not only your brain doesn't know it's not happening again, so that it replays the story and resends the 1400 negative chemical through your body to relive this experience again over and over. You repollute yourself every time you tell a story. The person that is receiving the story, their brain doesn't know it's not happening to them. So their brain shoots 1400 chemical down their body. That's why you feel drained when you were somebody who tells you all this stuff that's happening to them all the time, because your brain doesn't know it's not happening to you. That's why you cry when you watch This Is Us, or when you watch a horror movie, you're afraid. You're in your living room. There's no vampires around. You're fine. But hey, we're afraid because our brain doesn't know it's not happening to us. So first thing is to explain that to the person and say, oh my gosh, we need to get you out of this, because every time you tell the story, you're repolluting yourself and you're polluting me. Oh my gosh, we need to figure things out together. So what can we do about that? How are you going to get out of this? And then you can tell them, I trust you. You are very resourceful and you're going to figure it out. I trust you. You're very resourceful. You're going to figure it out. And whenever they continue to complain, you can say, what would you like instead? And they will be like, well, I'm so tired of this. What would you like instead? What would you like instead? So then you chunk them up, that we call them. So you try to bring them into something that they would like instead. If you find that the person you're talking to is responsive and wants your help, you keep them in your circle, and they're just going through a rough patch, and that's fine. You're helping them, they come out of it, and they want to be positive, and they want to have your outlook on life. If you find that they just want an ear to complain and vent, then you're not that person, because this is not what you want. So then you just happen to have less and less time for them. And if it's your family, then you try to see them only when you have to. And you try to distance yourself and not see them as often, or just, there's always a choice. We always have a choice. So that's probably my most honest answer. We can't really change people that don't want to be changed. We can certainly influence them, and then you keep telling them, you are very resourceful. I trust you. You will figure it out. So you empower them that they will find the solution. So that's kind of my answer for that. The next question is, can I be successful even if I don't focus on only one thing? Am I ever glad that I did not focus just on only one thing right now? A lot of people that are still making money right now during confinement are kind of happy that it happened for them, because for the number of years, I do lots of speaking engagement, but that's not my number one thing. And I do a lot of coaching, but that's not my number one thing. And I have a publishing company that I help people write books, but that's not my number one thing. And I also write books, but that's not my number one thing. And so see, all that I'm doing, I have children's program in schools. That's not my number one thing. Nothing is my number one thing. I have a business. I have many different income, many different things. I'm doing only one thing, is I and negative self-talk. I'm a confidence expert. So in all these areas, what I do is I teach confidence and clarity. But I have many different domains that I do this, that I serve. So I have different vehicles to serve this. So to the question, can I be successful even if I don't do and focus only on one thing? Absolutely. Because the question had more detail about, well, I really like fitness. I like teaching my fitness classes. I'm a personal trainer, and I also would like to become a coach. And I also like dancing, and I wonder if it's not too many things at once. And people are telling you to pick a lane and then to niche and then to focus. Of course, you should focus on one thing that you're passionate about. And one thing that I like to show in Think Yourself a Business Pro, which gives you the 10 tips to a successful business. This is one of the tips. So first, you find what's working on the market. Don't you start a business on something that nobody wants. So what is working on the market? And it's okay, me too, I'm going to go into that market and I'm going to do that. What are you good at? So me, I'm special because I am good with this. So let's say you choose the fitness market, because the fitness market is working a lot right now online. So, and then you're going to say, what's my specialty? Am I specific with hardcore people that want to train really, really hard? Or am I good with people that want to do gentle thing up over 65 years old and then not to injure themselves? So what makes you special? What are the things that you have? And what is your passion? What do you love? So what do you do when you're not working? Look at your bank account and look at your calendar. Where do you spend your money on? And what do you spend your time on? So when you're not working, the things that you want to do, how do you spend your time? How do you spend your money? That's how you will know what is your passion. So if your passion is weightlifting, then you will find your sweet spot somewhere in the common area of all three. So find your niche, yes, and still my passion myself is the brain. It's not only in the mindset market. It's not just that I'm good with neuroscience or I have a passion for confidence. I go into my niche, and then with this I do speaking engagement on that topic, I write books on that topic, I do business mentorship on that topic, I create children's program on that topic. So you want to, yes, find a niche, but it's not a bad thing to be interested in different things, because your main message, your main passion is probably that you want to help people. So I hope this answers your question. This is all in Think Yourself a Business Pro. So again, you find all the online courses here at Online Programs. The next question, how do you create structure when your work is gone until this situation is over? So we talked a little bit about how do you motivate yourself, how do you create structure. You want to see what's ahead. So look 3 months from now and then decide what you want to have done. And just like when, let's say that you're flying somewhere, what you will do is, in order to know what time you need to get up in the morning to take your flight, you will backtrack. So you'll say, okay, my flight is at 3 p.m. and it's an international flight. So that means that I need to leave. I need to be at the airport at noon. That means I'm an hour away from the airport. I need to leave my house at 11. That means that I need maybe an hour to finish my packing. So that means I need to start finishing my packing at 9, and it takes me about an hour to have breakfast, get dressed and all that. So I need to get up at 8 a.m. So you start with the objective in mind, and then you backtrack yourself. So look ahead. When everything goes back to the new normal, which is probably never going to be the same thing that we had, what do you want to have done? So looking ahead will allow you to decide, okay, how do I create structure is by setting up short goals. I want to have a fully functioning website to have online courses ready to go. So what's my first step? Do I even have a business right now? Do I even have a name? Do I have a website? So first step is to do that. But if you go back to the end goal, what will have needed to happen in order to get there, divide that by 3 months, divide that by each month you will have done that. So today, what do you need to have done? One thing that I use a lot is just my gratitude form. So that's the form that I have in the Think Yourself Grateful book. So that's this book right here. So this is just a journal. So the first 40 pages explain to you how to fill this up. And then the last question of this, so first is my have done list, what have you done today? But the last question is, my plan for tomorrow is, I will finish the day tomorrow having done this very important thing. So every day before I finish my day, I write down my gratitude to see what am I happy about, what positive emotion I chose to create, what I have done towards my main goal, because you can spend a whole day doing stuff but not important to you. So have you done something, not just what you've done, but what you've done for yourself? So I have to respond to myself every night. So that really helps me keeping my structure, because every night I know I have to face this sheet and I have to report. And I have to report, have I done something towards my goal today? And tomorrow I will finish the day having done this important thing. So in the morning, I know already when I get up, this is what I need to finish today. So very often I start with it. And then if I have so many emails to answer, well, they have to wait, because this is my thing that I have to do. So I feel like this allows me to report to myself. You can download this form, by the way. It's on my website in gifts. So go to thinkyourself.com/free gifts. So I will be sending you all these links after. So go there. You can download the form, make as many photocopies as you'd like. If you prefer to have the book and write into the journal, then you can order the book as well. And that I think was the last question that I had pre-recorded. I received one more just before it started. Was, you spent a year eating no dessert. How did you do it? So it's funny enough, because when I saw this answer this morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what happened last night. So my husband and I have been really good at not having anything in the house that we don't want to eat. But on Sunday, we thought, we've been so good in the past 2 months, we're going to buy some ice cream. So we bought some ice cream yesterday, and then we're each eating our bowl of ice cream, and my husband tells me, you know what? This is so good. I could eat the whole bowl, the whole box of ice cream right now. And I said, same. So we each had ice cream, and we were left after the ice cream wanting more. So this had not helped. So this is exactly how I did it. How I'm not eating dessert is that I know that because that happens to me every single time that I eat something good, like something sweet and a donut or a pie or something. Every single time I finish it, I want to eat more. So what's the point of eating it if after eating it, I'm gonna be left in the state of wanting to eat ice cream? Might as well be left in that state before eating it at all, because I will want to eat more after anyway. So might as well be in that state of wanting to eat ice cream before eating it. So that's how I did it. Of course, I have a whole course on this. Thank You Self Healthy. There's 27 tips on how to how I've done it, and all the 27 things that I do, the things I eat. Anyway, you could go check that out. But the number one thing for me is this thought of, what's the point? If I eat a donut now, I'm going to want to have another donut. So right now I'm in the state that I want to eat a donut, and I have to talk myself out of it. And after eating it, I will still have to talk myself from eating another one. So might as well not eat it at all, because there's no point. So that's kind of how I did it. So now I'm going to go into the group chat, and I'm going to the top. Why is knowing your philosophy or plan important to set before you start on your media plan? Interesting. So let me know if I understand the question correctly. So why is knowing what you stand for and your own philosophy is important to set who you are and what's important to you and your business and how you want to show up? Is that important to do before you start marketing yourself? It's because you want to know, one, who's your client and how you want to show up. So can I ask Heather if I understood the question properly? So I'm going to, okay, she's nodding. Perfect. Awesome. So if you, let's say that I give my example because I talk about confidence and clarity, and there are 3 ways that I do my marketing. And the reason why I do that is that I studied what I was doing. So what really I am doing is I am helping people with their confidence and with their clarity. So if you have a problem in your drawer, because in your drawer you have all the answers you need, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that's accumulated, and I help people get rid of that stuff. So I go into being clear about what I do. What is it that I do? Is I empty this drawer and I help them see for themselves that they're awesome, that they have all the answers they need. So I'm very, very clear on that. So when I market myself, knowing what I do, I can know 3 things. What people want to achieve, what are they afraid of, and what problem I solve. So what are they going away from? What am I solving? And what do they want? So you always want to look at what it is that you're doing exactly, and then you create your media plan with these 3 things in mind. And sometimes you will advertise towards, do you want to feel confident in life? Do you want to have clarity and know exactly what you're doing? So this is the gain approach, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm confidence and clarity, so it's very clear. So this is what I'm promising. So your promise statement, and this is all in Business Pro as well. The second thing is what are people going away from? So you'll start your marketing with, are you afraid, or not afraid, but are you tired of? Are you tired of getting up in the morning and then not being motivated? Are you tired of, so whatever that you are doing for a living, you ask yourself, are you tired of this? Are you tired of the problem that you're solving? And then the third one is, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of showing up one day and looking back at your life and thinking, I think I've wasted my life. I did not reach the dream that I wanted to reach. So knowing what it is that you do, and I know that I can respond to all three of these. So ask yourself, are you clear on what it is that you do? What exactly are you offering to your clients? And that's when you can set up your marketing plan and your media plan following these three different kind of marketing. Does that answer your question? Yeah, thank you. Then I have cool analogy, truck in the driveway. Do you use mind mapping? Oh, mind mapping. So you're asking mind mapping in what context?
So when you're trying to, like we were talking about before, when you figure out what your goal is and work backwards. So what about using mind mapping? Like, some people, they put it in the middle and then they have little pokey things. Okay, so, that kind of mind mapping.
Yeah, okay, I understand. So yeah, I love this, the way that you could explode from one bubble. So I've done, I was hosting a TV show, a 12 episode series, and my whole TV show was set up in each 12 episode with mind mapping. So with one theme for this episode, we're going to talk about this, that, and each of them has three sub points. The other time that I use mind mapping is when I decide that I'm going to create a new online course. So each online course has its own mind map. So this is the title of the course. So my latest one that I just recorded last week, Think Yourself Confident. So that's the newest one. So I have Think Yourself Confidence, and then I'm going to say I'm going to have 7 modules, and each module, then I go from there. In this module, there will be 3 main things, and in each of these things, I'm going to give 2 tips. So that ended up being 15 tips for self-confidence. I use mind mapping as well whenever I am on a project with an organization or an association. So I always ask them, if they are hiring me, what do you want to hear? What are your main messages that you want me to share with your audience? And I do use my mapping for that. So I find that it really helps me making sense of my ideas, so that I know, same with, I plan all my social medias in advance. So I always have one main blog, and then throughout the week I refer to it, and I'm going to break it down with different breakdown. You can do that as well. A lot of people are writing their books that way. So you could do a blog every week, and then from this blog, eventually you can bring all your topics into different module or different parts or different chapters, and then you put your ideas together that would fit together in different chapters, and all of a sudden, after a while writing blogs, you have your book. You've already written enough content, and by using the mind mapping system, you will break all your ideas down, or you can do the reverse. Plan the book first and then use the book as small little blogs for everything. Or you could say the 5 keys to whatever it is that you're doing. Let's say you're an accountant. I'll keep giving this example. The 5 keys for having your finances in check, or whatever. And then these 5 keys can break down in 3 little tips for each of these keys. So you could really break things down with my mapping. I really like this. Oh, I still can put on a bra. Our tight pants work. Good. Okay. Getting dressed lends to purpose, even indoors. Duff, are you wearing pants? That's my husband. Somebody's asking the question. Find myself rolling my shoulders back. Yeah. Finding myself rolling my shoulder. Yeah. Because when I was talking, somebody loves Amy Cuddy. Oh, your internet keeps freezing and going down, so I'm going to watch the recording. It was difficult for me to sign in. Keep freezing and I can hear your answer. Oh no, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so I will make sure that you receive the recording. I closed the window. Yes, we can. I could see, blah, blah. Is there any more questions? Oh, I have one here. What is mind mapping? So mind mapping is just a way to break down your ideas. So it's a way that, let's say that you write, I will just show you visually. So you have one main idea, and then you have 3 more ideas, and each of these ideas can break down again. So this is mind mapping. So can you see? So you have one main idea that breaks down into more ideas that break down into more ideas. So it's just a way to, there's different softwares that allow you to do that, and you could just do it on paper. So it's just a way to make something in your head, and let's say an idea that you have, and to break it down on paper in different, regrouping them in chapters if they fit together, and making sense of all your ideas that you might have. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Are you ever cranky despite your best efforts? Everybody is, and me too, and it happens, and it's always a matter of choosing to exit the loop. So sometimes I just, and you can ask my husband, am I ever cranky? Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you just, and then you have to be alert and saying, oh my gosh, I'm cranky right now. What's going on? What is really bothering me? There's a truck in my driveway. I'm uncomfortable. The truck should be there for 30 to 90 seconds. So what am I learning right now? Why am I feeling that way? So you have to pause. You have to step back and take a deep breath and ask yourself, okay, why am I cranky right now? What am I looking for? Like, what, there's a learning obviously that I'm not getting. So what really am I upset about? So I need to really I need to really realize, what is it that I'm learning? So what is the truck that is in my driveway? And sometimes it lasts for more than 90 seconds. Sometimes I do a few loops and I stay in the loop and I get stuck. And then eventually I get my learning. Ah, that's why. Okay, I get it now. It has nothing to do with what's happening right now. It's this thing that's in my head that's bothering me. I need to address that. And then I can exit the loop, and then the truck gets out of my driveway. So yes, the answer is yeah. In your truck in the driveway example, you talked about unwrapping that gift so that the backlog doesn't happen in your driveway. You didn't mention how to do that though. Great. So there are specific processes that I do with my clients at an unconscious level that allow to all the trucks to leave the driveway all at once. This is not something you can do on your own. I don't even do that on my own when I want to do it for myself. I ask one of my fellow practitioners to work the process to do all that for me. Now, there's something you can do, and I will teach you a quick technique, a 2-step technique you can do right away whenever you feel that it's happening. So you want to listen to what the voice in your head is telling you. So you want to ask yourself what it is that you're feeling right now. And usually it's a negative talk. It's something that you're telling yourself that if you would talk like this to any of your friends, you wouldn't be friends anymore. So that's, you got it. Once you hear that thought that you could not repeat to anybody else, you know that that's the thought you need to rephrase. So let's say it's something like, oh, I'm so tired of being stressed all the time, or whatever it is. The first step is to rephrase it in the past. And then to say, I used to be stressed out. So I used to be, so what happens is that you have a personal assistant in your head that's writing down everything that you say. So whenever you hear something like that, your personal assistant writes down, oh, we're stressed out. Perfect. I'm going to make sure this happens. So first thing you need to do is cancel that. You need to say, wait, don't write that down on my list. I don't want to be stressed out. I used to be stressed out. So then your personal assistant's like, okay, well, that's true. But why are we talking about this in the past? Are we done with this? So then the second step is to use a progressive statement. So a progressive statement starts with, I am willing to learn, or I'm in the process of. So I used to be stressed out. Now I'm willing to learn. What is it that I'm learning right now? What is it that I have to be aware of? What do I need to think about right now? Because remember, your unconscious mind, if you've listened to any of my speeches before, your brain, your unconscious mind can process 2.3 million pieces of information every second. So if you are alert and you are paying attention to your thoughts and you say, tell me, what is it that I am learning right now? Sit back, close your eyes, and tell your unconscious mind to tell you, what is it that I'm learning? And you'll have your aha moment. So first you say, wait, I used to be upset. I used to be angry. I used to be cranky. Now I'm willing to learn what it is that I'm supposed to learn. Or if you're saying, well, I used to always gain the weight back when I would lose weight. Now I'm willing to learn how to create a balanced life for myself, or I'm in the process of figuring things out. Now I am listening and I'm willing to learn what it is that I need to learn. So that's how you can do that. Hope that technique will help. So you always be catching your thoughts, because if you're simply rephrasing your thought with the contrary, like I can't work with my clients with think yourself wealthy and that are in deep financial struggles. I can't make them stand in front of the mirror and say, I am rich. Well, their brain goes, no, we're not. What are you talking about? This is not coming on the list. Affirmations don't work like that. So you have to progressively get your brain to listen to what you have to say. So whenever there's a powerful emotion in your driveway, that's what you do, is you tell them, wait, this is wrong. I used to feel that way. Now I'm changing my state. I'm willing to learn what it is that is the gift that I'm receiving right now, and I'm opening myself, and you will have your aha moment. Okay, some people are telling me they have to go. How much time do you spend creating your media content? Probably a couple hours every week. So it might be, my video blog takes me about 2 hours by itself to record, to get the transcription done. I use rev.com, and then once I have the transcription, I have to revise it because my accent is really bad, and then the computer doesn't understand most of what I'm saying anyway, so I have to rewrite that properly for my newsletter. I have to extract the SRT file, which is going to be the subtitle on the video, so I like my videos to have subtitles. And then I plan all this to happen on the Sunday. So this takes me about 2 hours. And then I spend another 1 or 2 hours during the week to figure out. I use an application called later.com. So on Later, I schedule all my posts for the week. Sometimes they're quotes, sometimes they are just an image. Sometimes it's something that like I've advertised my webinar that you're on right now, and sometimes it's just a picture of flowers that I thought were beautiful, right? So I plan all my social media in advance, so it takes me about 2 hours, and then I'm done for the whole week. I've been reading a book on cognitive behavioral therapy. One of the things they mention is to write down what event triggered you, or what you are actually being affected by, your inner thoughts, and write out the logical or positive version of your ideas. Is that essentially neurolinguistic programming? It's very close, absolutely. Yeah, it is close to neurolinguistic programming, because it's being aware of what it is that you are actually feeling. So bang on. So you have to be aware of your own thoughts and what triggered it, because that's how let's say I do some processes to help people get rid of traumas or bad habits. So if somebody, for example, has a fear of flying, we ask them specifically, when do you start panicking? Is it when you cross the security? Is it when you sit in the plane? Or is it when the plane starts to take off? So you need to know the exact moment of the trigger, so then you can rehearse a positive reaction to that trigger and change this trigger into something else and rehearse what you're going to do instead. So Raphael, that's exactly some specific processes that we use in neuro-linguistic programming. And then there was, somebody is already at the third lesson of Think Yourself a Business Pro, so thank you for doing my course. I have to go. Thank you, Natalie. Very helpful. Have a great day, everyone. I have another webinar at 11, so I'll catch the rest on the replay. Thank you so much. I loved it, and nice meeting you. Awesome. Well, thank you. That's absolutely, it was my delight to be with you guys. I know some of you will be watching the replay, so I will be sending the recording as soon as I have it available. And then I will be emailing to you with all the links. Also, I have a discount code right now that my courses are at 50% off during the month. So I will be putting the code to get the courses at a discount. So if you're interested in any of the courses to go deeper in anything, just let me know. And then it was my pleasure to be with you. So if there's, this webinar goes on. My gratitude list for today. Oh, that's so nice. Awesome. Thank you so much. Very informative and validating. I look forward to the links and learning more. Thank you, Siobhan, for mentioning this to me. How do you organize what and where you will post content? Oh, I do that in later. That's how I organize it. And bravo, Nathalie. Thank you so much. Awesome. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I want to be respectful of your time. Actually, we do have, it's 10:58. We do have more time. So if you want, I can tell you a little bit more about later. It's not very expensive. It's costing maybe $10 a month, and then you can prepare all your social media on it. So it's later.com. So go look at how did they work it. It's pretty simple. You upload your content in advance, and you get to plan everything. It's got a calendar, and then you just drag your post and then place it on the day that it's gonna be posted, and it even shows you the most busy times depending on your audience. And it shows you, well, regarding your audience, because you answer some questions when you log in and the first time, they'll say that on Saturday your audience is on between 9:30 and 10. On that day it's at 5 a.m. On that day it's at 9 a.m. And it tells you when is your people gonna more likely be there. So it's kind of cool. So that's what I use. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be there. Oh, un autre français. Merci. Merveilleux. Thank you. You guys are so amazing. So thank you so much, and I will be sending you all the recording and all the links. So you guys are amazing. Bye, guys.
Nathalie, thank you. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Yes, absolutely. You too. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Là, tu peux aller sur le toit, là, tu vas griller. Bye bye, je vais aller travailler.
Bye.
Merci.